Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. Good afternoon, and hello to those who are watching on streaming video. I understand about 1 minute ago you were looking at a blank stage and just a podium here. So we are beginning a couple minutes after 4. And again, thank you and welcome. It's a pleasure for me to have this opportunity to do my second annual of the opportunities, is taking the opportunity to my second annual State of the University to talk about the direction of our institution and the distinct place that I think we all know and love. I want to talk today about what's gone on in recent years, but I also, more importantly, want to talk about where I believe we're going. We've been through trying times. I think we all know that. I can assure you that much of the work that we've done in the last 16 to 18 months are dedicated towards a worthy goal that we all believe in. We want more students graduating. We want more students entering the careers that they desire as they come and experience EMU. We want to address the ever-growing and important question from students and parents alike: what is the return on investment for a 4-year college experience, or a 5-year college experience, or a 5.5-year college experience? We want to deal with issues such as student debt that plague students not only at this university, but all universities throughout our country. These issues represent a national challenge that faces, as I said, not only us, but institutions large and small. Today, I hope that I can lay out for all of you a test, to test the priorities that we're working through in our strategic plan, and to show how we're continuing to improve the Eastern Michigan University that we've all known, will continue to know, and hopefully understand a bit better from the inside out. The dramatic first steps that we've come to in the last year or so are being implemented in a design that's all about a financial turnaround. It's been painful, but also successful. We're in a far better place today than we were just a year ago or 2 years ago. And I want to thank you for your collective hard work to get us from where we were to where we are. In order to describe a turnaround plan, though, I think we have to build some context. When I arrived at EMU in 2016, I found the institution with deep strengths, many deep strengths upon which to build. We had a legacy of 170 years of existence, with highly recognized brand that focused not only on our preparation of educational professionals, but the work that our professors have done in fields that are far-ranging. We have a passionate alumni base. Over 100,000 alums live in a 5-county southeast Michigan region. We have a diverse and engaged student body. In fact, we have one of the most diverse student bodies in the state of Michigan, which is a defining element of who we are and who we seek to be. We have a rich history of public service, underscored by the Carnegie Engaged Institution classification that we've held for 10 years. We care about our community, and we show it. We need to share that fact because it's a powerful reality. A central aspect of who we are and what we've dedicated ourselves to can be seen in our hardworking faculty. Frankly, we don't talk enough about this, as we see this as a signature element of Eastern. We're going to talk more about it, not only today, but this year, next year, and the years to come. Our faculty are deeply engaged with students in a way that sets us apart from public education institutions that look like us and act like us. Ask our students about their most memorable stories, their most memorable experiences, the most salient memories they have of Eastern, and they'll cite an experience they had with a faculty member. Frankly, our faculty work harder than most, and they deserve the recognition that these students give to them. But coming to understand the shining virtues of our university, I also discovered that we had financial challenges. They're based on a number of factors, and actually they had snowballed over not 1 or 2 years, but several years. We were not in good shape. State aid had been slashed by $11 million in 2012, and still we'd not recovered to prior levels. Michigan today ranks 44th in the nation in support of higher education. That's just a miserable statistic. 44th in the nation. I tried to find another word other than miserable, and I thought miserable's right. It is a miserable statistic. Enrollment was declining, reflecting an evolving demographic for Michigan that we all know, an evolving demographic that matches the Midwest and affects most regional public universities. Despite those challenges, we had not sufficiently reduced our staffing, even in the face of decreases in our two primary resources for revenue, tuition and state aid. As a result, the university incurred 7 consecutive operating deficits from fiscal 11 to fiscal 17, with a total of nearly $60 million in overall deficit. That, my friends, was clearly not sustainable. With those deficits, our reserves were dwindling. They fell below peer benchmarks, they fell below national accrediting agency benchmarks, and they fell below bond rating benchmarks. The Higher Learning Commission had placed us on a financial watch list. That's a relatively neutral term for a dire situation. It goes without saying that it's a designation that we wanted to avoid and we knew we must avoid. But it was clear that action could not be in a 5-year span or a 10-year span. We had to quickly take action. So we began what I think is best described as a multi-year turnaround plan. We took difficult steps, including reducing our staffing to reflect a smaller institution more in line with our revenues. We reduced expenses. For all of our campus, we shared in a painful but necessary experience. Looking outward, we launched external business partnerships in dining and parking. The latter of those partnerships, well, they had a few bumps in the road. Pun all intended. But those changes allow us to focus more resources on the time that we have, the resources and time that we have with our core mission, which is educating students. They provide a significant financial shot in the arm as well that allowed us to escape from that financial watch list. The recently completed Voluntary Employee Retirement Incentive Program, lovingly called VRIP, provided an excellent opportunity for us to become more efficient and focus on what Eastern does best. I want to emphasize that VRIP was not simply about saving money. Instead, it was about giving us flexibility to reorganize and look at ways we were doing business. We should not, therefore, and will not fill all those positions. Now that VRIP is done, we're reviewing the processes and the organization of our work in divisions to make us more efficient. Our turnaround efforts have positioned us to continue to make focused and strategic decisions to support student success. I have to emphasize again that I know how extremely painful all this has been for you and for all of us. Every employee at this university is sacrificed by doing more with less. But I'm pleased to report that our sacrifices are paying off. Our turnaround plan, while not all yet complete, has been successful. Let me list a few of the successes. After 7 consecutive years of operating deficits, we've had 2 years of balanced operating returns, fiscal 18 and fiscal 19. We've doubled our unrestricted reserves, and HLC removed us from that financial watch list and reaccredited the institution for 10 more years. We strategically invested in campus infrastructure to reduce expenses and to lay the groundwork for a long-term program of financial stability. What do I mean by this? Well, I tried to think of one good example of a construction or a project that was meaningful but maybe not all that eye-catching. So I thought about those orange fences that were around the south part of campus in 2017. We called it the Loop 1 project. It provides services to many buildings in that area that at one time, Mr. Donegan told me, you're lucky when you turn the lights on in the morning, Dr. Smith, that they come on. That was a big project. You don't see a lot of glitz from that project, but now I'm confident when I turn the lights on in Welsh Hall, they indeed will come on and stay on. We installed a cogen facility, reducing our energy expenses. The huge turbine that exists there has 93% of campus electrical needs built into its system, and it generates almost 98% of our thermal needs in the form of steam heat. The sustainability gains for the cogenerator are incredibly significant. Its results bring us 21,000 tons of reduced carbon dioxide, equivalent to 78 million miles driven by the average passenger vehicle, or the preservation of 260 pristine acres of forest. This project is also achieving an annual net energy savings to the university of more than $2.8 million. We renovated Strong Hall and are renovating Sill Hall. We're also doing renovation at the Rec IM, thus showing that we're undertaking projects that support students and faculty in high-demand academic programs in terms of quality of life as well. I want to make it clear that we have more to do. Overall, I'm pleased to report this year is different. We're financially stable, and I want to take just a moment to thank our labor partners for their strong labor management relations that were the key to the success of this turnaround program to date. And I'm grateful for their partnership, and I know we have more to do, and I look forward to working with them. Thanks for these collective efforts. We're in a position to invest in Eastern's future and to continue to position ourselves to best serve our students in the most challenging of times. And I think, do we have a bright future? Absolutely. We have a plan, and I think as the plan unfolds, we'll all be excited about it. We're organizing to make future strategic investments in the university built around our existing strategic plan. As many of you will recall, the strategic plan was developed through a campus-wide process. It involved extensive participation by students, faculty, and staff. And now we're updating the strategic plan with a devoted group of students, faculty, and staff. 3 institutional priorities have been outlined, and the strategic plan continues to guide our action. The first of those, promoting student success and engagement. Second, delivering high-quality academic programs and quality research. And third, engaging and serving EMU in our regional communities. Additionally, an important overarching institutional commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion will be woven into all of these priorities. These priorities should guide our work each and every day. They're our pathway to the future. To ensure that this can happen, work groups are charged with updating the strategic plan, and they're focusing on specific institutional goals to support those priorities. They're also charged with proposing institutional outcomes that will allow us to measure whether we're making progress toward those goals. Together, these goals and outcomes will form a roadmap for our strategic investments that will drive our university forward. As a first step in that direction, today I'm extremely pleased to announce the creation of the University Strategic Investment Fund. We'll commit $250,000 next year, designed in next year's budget, to support new campus initiatives that support and enhance our institutional priorities. Proposals could include projects related to faculty initiatives, student retention, or community engagement, or other just really great ideas. Requests to access these funds will come through an annual budget process, and we'll ask for feedback from campus as we refine the criteria for this new and exciting initiative. In the meantime, we need to look at the excellent work that we're doing every day that drives and surrounds these institutional priorities.
First, what do we do to continue to promote student engagement and success? Obviously, this is the heart of our work. A student-focused, a teaching-focused institution. An institution that's life depends on opportunity. So far, we've done solid work with this institutional priority. For example, six-year graduation rates have increased significantly for a variety of student populations. These include students who receive our Educational First Opportunity Scholarship, that we know as EFOS, our student athletes whose cumulative GPA is at an all-time high 3.27, and other populations as well. The real magic of this is that our overall six-year graduation rate has increased, not only for subcategories, but overall. These improvements reflect the commitment of our faculty and our staff, as well as our strategic and intentional student persistence efforts. It demonstrates our increased focus on support and support systems that include things such as improved advising. Our efforts also include the re-up program, in which we have a partner who's helping us locate and re-enroll students who stopped out at Eastern. The program has helped us enroll 176 students just since summer. Similarly, our Engage Eagle Corps combines debt forgiveness and public service in tandem with community programs to re-engage students who have left EMU or consider leaving us as a result of financial challenges. We'll have our first graduate from the Eagle Engage Corps walking across commencement stage in December. The Mentor Collaborative was launched to pair at-risk incoming first-year students with older students. Initial data shows strong engagement and progress. Now going forward, Provost Longworth has designs on expanding that program to make it even more powerful. Another example of our efforts to facilitate student persistence is the launch of our Diversity Campus Climate Assessment, for which I think you've received more than one communication. The initiative includes several components and will provide a roadmap for a variety of future actions. The process stems from the idea that a welcoming climate is crucial for student engagement. The assessment is an exciting and vital exercise in self-understanding and central to helping us succeed, not only individually, but collectively and institutionally. This must be our focus, supporting our students to ensure that they persist in each class and each year towards that end goal of obtaining the degree. That's a goal to keep in mind as we work day in and day out. The second area of focus is deliver high-quality academic programs and research. You can see this emphasis in the new academic programs that we've launched. Bachelor's in Electrical and Computer Engineering, a Bachelor of Science in Engineering, a Technology and Workforce Education, a Bachelor of Science in Engineering, Technology, and Workforce Education. I told you, Jeff, I can't do long sentences. A Master's in Data Science and Analytics, a Master's in Finance, and a Bachelor's degree in Teaching English to speakers of other languages. Other programs continue to be successful and grow, such as our neuroscience program, where we continue to be extremely proud of the 400% growth in that program since it launched in 2016. Last year, I called on our campus to develop more high-demand online programs, especially in business, healthcare, and technology. This past year, we launched an online master's degree in curriculum, a master's in early childhood education, a master's in special education, and a bachelor's degree in cyber defense. But more must be done in generating online offerings. Graduate students in particular demand online programs because they don't want to give up that job that they've worked so hard to get to come back to school. And their employers will pay for the degree quite often as long as the employee keeps working. Undergraduate students also want the flexibility of online education for a myriad of reasons. In addition to our academic developments, our faculty continues to secure grants at record levels. For example, our awards are up 36% since 2016, and the number of proposals are up 20% since that year. Going forward, we'll continue to actively invest in strategic programs that face and focus on talented faculty and what the talented faculty can bring to their laboratories and to their classrooms. Our final institutional priority is engage and serve EMU and its regional communities. Eastern continues to focus on this priority in a variety of areas, including supporting local schools, ensuring safety and security, and promoting community health. The launch of Engage at EMU and the Office of Engage at EMU has resulted in a remarkable array of work that's gone forward with area schools and the larger community. I could take another half an hour and talk about all the things that Decky Alexander sent me to put in the speech. I will not. But I will highlight one example that I think is a great illustrator of the work that's done there. It's called Collaboration for Change, a partnership we have with Ypsilanti Community Schools and Washtenaw County. It seeks to promote student success in and through the community. The partnership was launched this past summer with the goal of creating new initiatives and fortifying existing ones, such as Bright Futures, the after-school program, and Pathways for Future Educators, which supports high school students in their goal of becoming teachers. Also, in terms of student support, this past year, the College of Education has engaged in a year-long immersion in Estabrook Elementary School, just down the street, just down Cross Street from Eastern. The effort, led by Jackie DeRose, a professor of teacher education and this year's Porter Chair, is part of a deep and mutual collaboration between the faculty, the principal, and the staff of Estabrook and the College of Education. As part of that collaboration, 20 Eastern teacher education students were embedded in the school as they took their curriculum and practicum courses there. This fall, the program is being expanded to Holmes Elementary in Ypsilanti Township. In terms of safety, our police force now patrols a considerable area around campus as we work to support Ypsilanti and county law enforcement. Our officers are fully sworn in the city of Ypsilanti and deputized in Washtenaw County. We have more than 900 cameras on campus, helping to ensure that Eastern is even more safe for its visitors, as well as its own students and all of us as employees. Finally, I think you can see a vivid example of the evidence of community engagement if you walk or drive by the northwest end of campus, where you will see the IHA Health Center at EMU, set to open on November 4th. The center is a collaborative between IHA, St. Joe Mercy Health System, and Eastern Michigan University. It will provide primary health care services to students, faculty, and staff, as well as to members of the community at large. You're all invited to the community open house to be held 10 a.m. to noon on Saturday, November 2, and I will assure you this will not be the first invitation that you'll receive. I don't know what the games are going to include, but I asked the other day if we were going to check temperatures in one's ear or something of that nature, and I didn't get an answer. But it's not just our programs and our partnerships that propel our vision. The final priority that we list between this area is communication. Notice the serve EMU aspect here. This involves enhanced communication. As you know, I think all of you know, we're working very hard on a variety of fronts to make that happen. This annual address is just one example of how we've tried to increase communication internally as well as externally. Before I close, I'd like to touch on two more efforts that fall outside the three above priorities but are critical to EMU. The first is enrollment. It's been falling at universities across the Midwest and in Michigan specifically. Eastern is not immune to this trend. There are fewer high school students in Michigan, impacting our first-year enrollment, and there are fewer community college students, which certainly affect our transfer enrollment. It is important to note that these are not isolated areas of decline. You see them throughout Michigan, as I said earlier, throughout the Midwest. We know that despite those trends, the growing demand for online opportunities that exist, we still must have a focus, a strong focus, and attention to what our classes are that are ground-based, while ground-based enrollment has to be crucial to our future. We're working diligently on several fronts to seek students from near and far. Utilizing traditional media channels and an increased emphasis on digital outreach, we're sharing more positive information more broadly about our university, its academic quality, its academic rankings, our students, our recent graduates and their success, and the vibrancy of our community. Our enrollment team continues to aggressively seek outreach efforts with additional focus on sharing the academic quality mission throughout the recruitment cycle. We lead the state in articulation agreements. We now have 150 articulation agreements, more than any other institution in our state, and just last year we launched 10. There are universities that didn't have more than 10 just a few years ago. We launched 10 in the last year. We continue our outreach work as we recruit international students. We've been active in Asia, specifically India and China, as well as in the Middle East. We're also undertaking a comprehensive review of our enrollment practices, specifically as they pertain to graduate students. The College of Arts and Sciences Dean, Dr. Dana Heller, is leading a broad effort designed to identify the impediments in graduate recruitment, our processes. How do we streamline those processes? How do we make the functions easier to allow students to enter our university and be the graduate student that they want to be here at EMU? We will, through this process, increase graduate enrollment. Finally, to help support all the efforts that I've noted throughout today's talk, a comprehensive multi-year fundraising campaign continues to be developed. This is a major initiative. Its scope is without precedent at Eastern. A feasibility study is being undertaken. Interviews with major stakeholders are underway. Our campaign case statement noting why Eastern is worthy of support has been drafted and is currently being reviewed. In the meantime, please be on the lookout. Please be on the lookout for our annual faculty and staff campaign that will be coming soon. Regarding that campaign, I say this often, we cannot credibly ask others to invest in our university if we as employees don't invest ourselves. In closing, I want to emphasize the sense of community that we have on campus. It truly exists in good times and in bad. We possess a singular ability to work together, the potential to realize our vision, and to further implement the plans that I've laid out for today. In that vein, I call on each of you to think of one thing. It can be small or it can be large, from your area or just from an idea that you have, that would allow 1, 2, or 3 of these priorities to come together and help us make the challenge of serving our students even more robust. You can email your thought to me, president@emich.edu. You can't possibly forget that email. And it's lowercase or uppercase, president@emich.edu. As I conclude, I know many of you will have feedback, you'll have questions. As we did last year, I've asked our executive council, we'll all congregate up here and we'll be happy to talk and to answer questions or to listen to ideas. Again, don't give us all the ideas. I want certainly some to come to president@emich.edu. Please do come down and converse with us if time allows. And with that, I want to say thank you very much. Thank you for your time. I know this is an incredibly busy point in the semester. I thank you for being here. Those of you who are watching online, I thank you for taking time out of your day to watch as well. It is a privilege for me to partner with you and to be your president at Eastern Michigan University. Thank you very much.